welcome back to the deep dive. If you're a forward-thinking driver, you know the electric vehicle market isn't just fast, it's moving at, well, warp speed.
It really is. And you need a way to cut through all the noise, the comparison reviews, the sales figures to find out what's really setting the new benchmark.
That's exactly why we're here. The mission for this deep dive is to shortcut your research into what is probably the single most competitive segment right now, the mid-size electric SUV.
Yep. We've synthesized all the recent data head-to-head tests, sales charts, and we're focusing on three critical players. You've got the refreshed Tesla Model Y, the popular Kia EV5, and a new, very aggressive challenger from China, the Zeekr 7X.
Okay, let's unpack this. We're going way beyond just listing horsepower figures. We're going to figure out not just which car is technically superior, based on the real-world testing and the sources,
But also which one gives you those surprising aha moments for the money. And more importantly, why the established king of the hill, the Model Y, is suddenly looking over its shoulder.
Right. It feels like the ground is shifting. So let's set the scene a bit.
Huh.
Earlier this year, the Tesla Model Y was dominant, is the clear victor against rivals like the BYD Celion 7 and the Xpeng G6.
That was the status quo.
Sure.
Tesla was the benchmark everyone was chasing, full stop.
But this market moves so fast.
So fast. And we have the Australian sales data for November 2025 that shows a fascinating shift. EV sales rebounded to over 9,000 units, about 9.1% of the market. And yes, the Model Y did bounce back to the top spot with 2,269 sales.
But here's where it gets really interesting. Despite the Model Y being number one, this newcomer, the Zeekr 7X, immediately rocketed into third place.
With 682 sales, right behind the BYD Celion 7.
That is an explosive entrance for a brand that, let's be honest, most people hadn't even heard of a year ago.
And that reception is so crucial to understand. Zeekr isn't some shaky startup. It's owned by Geely, the massive Chinese conglomerate that also owns Volvo, Polestar, Lotus.
There's real lineage there,
Right.
real engineering.
Exactly. They had over 2,500 pre-orders before the first cars even arrived. This shows the Zeekr 7X is a legitimate premium threat. It's not a footnote.
So let's talk price and power, because this is where the competition gets razor thin.
Yeah.
We're comparing the top-end all-wheel drive variants.
Right. So you have the Zeekr 7X Performance at about $72,900, the Model Y Long Range at $68,900, and the Kia EV5 GT line at $71,707. That's the list price.
And once you add options and on-road costs, the driveway prices are all clustered, between about $76,000 and $81,000.
Which means the price difference is minimal. The competition is purely about execution, features, and the actual experience.
And when it comes to performance, well, the Zeekr 7X is the clear winner here.
It's not even close. It delivers a staggering 475 kilowatts of combined power.
Which means 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in just 3.8 seconds.
Yeah.
That's sports car territory.
Firmly in sports car territory. The Tesla is still very quick, of course, about 331 kilowatts, 4.8 seconds, still faster than almost anything on the road.
And the Kia.
The Kia is the more sensible choice. 230 kilowatts, 7.5 seconds. It's brisk, fine for family duties, but it's certainly not thrilling.
Okay, beyond the raw power, let's talk about the features you live with every day. They all have the basics covered, right? Alloy wheels, LED lights, heated and ventilated seats.
Heated steering wheels, glass roofs, all that. But the divide really starts to show the Zeekr strategy. The Kia and the Zeekr start to pull ahead of the Tesla
How so?
by offering things that, frankly, drivers miss in the Tesla. A 360-degree camera, a dedicated instrument display right behind the steering wheel.
So you don't have to glance sideways for your speed.
Exactly. And native wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Plus, they both have a physical sunshade for that big glass roof.
And the Zeekr pushes even further into that luxury space, adding soft Nappa leather, tri-zone climate control, and even power reclining rear seats.
And the big one, the adaptive air suspension. We'll get to why that's so important in a minute.
So what are Tesla's exclusives then?
It's purely digital, a small rear passenger touchscreen, and the option for that $149 a month full self-driving supervised software. A very different approach to value.
It really sets the stage for the interior design, doesn't it? The Model Y is extreme minimalism.
All in. The Kia is the normal choice for people who like buttons. And the Zeekr, well, it aims for that plush, high-end luxury feel.
Let's talk about the Zeekr cabin. It really does feel the most expensive of the three.
It does. You get that soft Nappa leather, and the rear space is just immense, like limousine-level legroom and a huge 21-speaker sound system.
They also have those high-tech power-operated doors, which led to a funny but maybe slightly worrying test result?
Ah, yes, the cucumber test. So the sources found the door sensors were smart enough to stop from closing on an arm or even a whole cucumber.
Right.
But when they tried to simulate a child's arm being just slightly in the way by using just the edge of a cucumber, the door failed to detect it and sliced the tip right off.
Huh. That's kind of the perfect summary, isn't it? Amazing tech, but maybe with a few edge cases to work out.
Precisely. Meanwhile, the Tesla is all about that huge central screen. The system is logical and it's super snappy, but the learning curve is steep. Everything is in there.
Everything. But you have to give it credit for the storage solutions in that phone as a key function. It's still the best in the business.
So, seamless. Then you have the Kia EV5, which is sort of the antidote to all that. You get physical buttons for climate and volume, a proper gear selector stock.
And they have some really clever family-friendly features.
They do. The front seats look like a bench, which is a nice touch. And there's a pull-out drawer under the front seats that can be heated or cooled.
For snacks.
Exactly. For keeping your delivery pizza warm or taking home ice cream. It's a very pragmatic, useful feature that shows where Kia's priorities are.
Okay, let's get into the driving experience.
These-
This is where the differences are sharpest. The Tesla is sporty, the Kia is adequate, but the Zeekr is all about refinement. You mentioned that adaptive air suspension. Why is it so important?
It's all about managing weight. EVs are heavy, really heavy,
Yeah.
and traditional steel springs can struggle to provide both comfort and control. Air suspension lets the car's computer constantly adjust the ride.
So in comfort mode, it just soaks up the bumps.
It completely transforms the ride. It delivers the best balance of comfort and control in this group, easily absorbing harsh bumps. It makes the car feel like a proper luxury limousine, not just a performance brute.
And a Tesla.
The Tesla is the opposite. It's very agile, very composed. It resists body roll really well. It's fun to drive spiritedly, but the ride is taut. It can be harsh over sharp bumps, especially on the bigger wheels.
And the Kia EV5, this seems to be its biggest weakness.
It is. The sources found it feels cumbersome with a lot of body roll. And even though the suspension is tuned for softness, the big wheels mean it still reacts harshly to potholes. It just feels unsettled.
Now, what about safety tech? All have top safety ratings, but the daily experience with the software can be different.
It raises a big question. How intrusive should your safety tech be? The Kia systems were found to be the most intrusive, the most frustrating.
How so?
The traffic sign recognition is prone to misreading signs, and it nags you with a loud, audible alert you can't easily turn off without disabling the whole visual warning, too. It can be genuinely fatiguing to deal with.
Yeah, that kind of constant beeping is a deal breaker for a lot of people.
It really is. The Tesla and Zeekr systems are much better calibrated, and the Tesla is actually the best here because it lets you set the speed alert to be visual only permanently. It's the least annoying.
Okay, let's get to the crucial EV metrics, the ultimate tiebreakers, range and charging speed.
Right. So first, efficiency. The Tesla is still the king here, using just 16.5 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. The Zeekr is thirstier at 19.1.
But efficiency isn't the whole story.
Not at all, because the Zeekr compensates for that with a massive 94 kilowatt hour usable battery, so it actually gets the longest real-world range estimate of the group.
At 495 kilometers, just ahead of the Model Y's 490.
And well ahead of the Kia's 405. It's like having a slightly thirsty car, but with a gigantic fuel tank. It still gets you further down the road.
But the real knockout punch for the Zeekr, the source of its massive competitive edge, is charging speed. This is where it really changes the game.
It's a paradigm shift. The Zeekr uses a high-voltage architecture, and it claims charging speeds up to 420 kilowatts.
Which means, in the real world, it can go from a 10% to an 80% charge in a claimed 16 minutes.
16 minutes. It's almost unbelievable. That's barely enough time to run in, grab a coffee, and get back to the car.
And how does that compare to the others?
The Tesla and the Kia need about 35 to 41 minutes for that same charge. You could, in theory, charge 2 Zeekrs in the time it takes to charge one Model Y.
That's revolutionary. That completely eliminates one of the biggest anxieties of EV ownership.
It does. It makes the Zeekr a true long-distance traveler. And, as a bonus, both the Zeekr and the Kia offer vehicle to load so you can power appliances from the car. The Tesla doesn't.
Okay, so after all that, the deep dive into the data, the conclusion was, well, it was a surprise.
It was. The Kia EV5, while practical, finished a distant third. It just fell behind on luxury, efficiency, charging speed, and driving composure.
So it came down to a battle between the Tesla and the Zeekr.
It did. And the Tesla remains an excellent car. It's the most efficient, it's the sharpest handling, the user experience is great, and it has a huge boot. It scored an 8.0 out of 10.
But the verdict is clear. The Zeekr 7X, scoring an 8.1 out of 10, just takes the crown.
It does. It manages to be faster, more comfortable thanks to that air suspension, more spacious, and it's just better equipped. Crucially, it fills in all the little gaps the Tesla leaves,
The instrument display, the 360 camera, the phone mirroring.
all while offering that market-leading 16-minute charging speed. What this all means is that, well, premium Chinese EVs are no longer just good for a Chinese car. They're just good, full stop.
The Model Y, while still exceptional, has been dethroned by a rival that just blends luxury, power, and technology better for what a modern family buyer wants.
The old guard now needs to try a lot harder just to keep pace.
That was a fascinating and really detailed deep dive into the changing hierarchy of the electric SUV market. We hope this knowledge helps you see the new standards being set.
Our goal is always to give you that critical context to navigate these complex decisions. It's not just about what's fastest, but what's actually comfortable and convenient to live with.
From all of us here, thank you so much for diving deep with us this year. We wish you and yours a very Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
Happy holidays, and we'll see you on the next deep dive.